Right, Shalom. The brother Kaya from GMS Louisiana Saints coming back at you with another quick lesson. Prior to getting started, as I always do, I like to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Agams that's pushing the truth and sincerity. And Lord willing, this video will be edifying first and foremost to the whole elect, then to those that cleave to the body. And I have this article here. It says China reveals new burden for world economy. All right. And that burden coming by the way of a squeeze. Okay. There's trade wars. All right. It's a war on food supply disruptions. Okay. And what it's causing to do is weakening the economy. Okay. Once the economy weakens, it collapses. Then they have to pretty much depend on the government for assistance. All right. And then you at the what? You at the mercy of the government. All right. So it's a new burden for world economy. You see, because America is a major player. All right. Out there from America is an import. All right. An import country, but they're the one that's buying, from those that's exporting. Okay. It says the financial system is still weakened after the pandemic, the C-19 pandemic, all right? Because then there's an agenda, okay, to continually inflate, the U.S. currency or the dollar, all right, the U.S. dollar, all right, that they may bring in a new system, you see? So even the C-19, all right, that's a agenda in place also to affect what? The economy. All right. Everything goes to the economy, man. All right. It says sanctions against Russia over its invasion of Ukraine will become a new burden for the world economy, which has not yet recovered from the C-19 pandemic. Because again, like you got the C, all right, you got the juice, then you got the war in Ukraine, right? Is a lot of things that's happening, all right? So in order to restore order, because it seems as if the world's getting out of order, then you got the supply disruption and the supply chain happening, all right? The foods are, the stores are pretty much not replenishing themselves, man, all right? Due to the lack of what? Bread, man. It says, and the fighting, when fighting going on, ain't nobody trying to sell or trade nothing with each other. Remember, there's a war on, it's a trade war going on, all right? That's why you have supply disruption. I'm going to look up trade war and see what it says. It says, and Chinese President Xi Jinping on Tuesday, Real Nafta's news agency has reported, citing Chinese state broadcaster CCTV. Here we go. Relevant sanctions will affect the stability of global finance, right? Energy supplies, cyber attacks, global finance, which let's see, the CB DB or Salakia, man. All right. Central banks, transportation, moving back and forth, and supply chains, which again, the supply chains going to what's being supplied, from state to import and export, man. All right. And will further burden the global economy, meaning what? The world. So this is a world problem, right? Sanctions on Russia is a world problem. How? Let's see why. Which has been under the heavy burden of the pandemic, and that is disadvantages to all parties. Zasse speaking a virtual meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. The Chinese leader also added that China, France, and Germany should make efforts to reduce the negative impact of the crisis and jointly support peace talks with Russia and Ukraine. How you gonna talk about peace talks when there's already people that have been murdered, killed, taken for hostage, like prisoners of war, like, and can't nothing get peaceful about this. And jointly support peace talks between Russia and Ukraine to prevent the conflict from escalating or spinning out of control, Ria Novosti said it is already out of control. The EU has imposed several rounds of severe sanctions against Russia, targeting the country's banking and industrial sector, freezing Moscow foreign reserves and causing a mass exodus of foreign businesses from the country. Cutting off the money line. Okay? China has refused to condemn Russian actions, and Ukraine has constantly called for a negotiated diplomatic solution to the conflict. Trades between Russia and China has been booming despite events in Ukraine. According to Chinese customs data released on Monday, the trade turnover between the two countries increased by 39% in the first 2 months of this year compared to the same period last year, exceeding $26 billion. But that was the point. What I wanted to grab was relevant sanctions will affect the stability of global finance, energy supplies, transportation, and supply chains, and will further burden the global economy. All right? Which the stability of the global finance, with America being the strongest dollar, it had already collapsed. Because America is over $30 trillion in debt already. All right? So the stability of that is, one would say, is there even a stability to that? Right? Energy supplies, transportation, and supply chains, man. All right, let me get this other article. Because again, this money situation caused situation with the food, which caused situation with the problems of transportation, which caused supply disruptions, man. All right, it says corn and soybean is a natural news right here. Farmers warns America that average grocery bill could increase by $1,000 per month. Now, why is this so? All right, because when you look at this store right here, man. Okay. It says Tuesday, March 8, 22 by Ethan Huff. Tags: big government chaos, collapse, corn, economic policy, farmers, fertilizer prices, food collapse, food supply, grocery bill, harvest, hyperinflation, inflation, Joe Biden, oil prices panicking, shortage, soybean starvation. All right. So Natural News, Tucker Carlson, a Fox News interviewed a farmer during a recent broadcast who said that grocery prices will only continue to soar over the coming months, possibly increasing by $1,000 per month for a typical U.S. family. Now, Jake don't have $1,000 per month to feed themselves pretty much now. So if it go up to $2,000, then crime gonna increase, which crime has increased. Theft, all right, armed robberies and murders have increased dramatically, man, since this pandemic done started, man. All right, as an overall thing, you see, it said instead of talking about how many decades of Wall Street corruption and central bank fiat printing shenanigans ultimately brought us to this point, the former instead blamed the Russian invasion of Ukraine as well as fake President Joe Biden's failed economic policies. Nah, man, it's the plan, all right? There's a great pandemic in place, you see? So it have to affect all the things that mean something, okay? Or eating means something, right? Your health means something, okay? The things, the supplies you need for your day-to-day, it means something. That's why it's affecting that what? Directly. Which directly affects you. All right? Which causes a squeeze on the economy, man. All right? Which causes people it causes people to be in a squeeze. All right? Or a tight spot. You see? Because again, it's all boiling down. Cause the price is so high out here, man. All right? Gas is raising up as I'm speaking right now. Okay? Food prices is high. I went and got my oil change, man. The regular oil change, I'm in there telling the man, oh no, where's this price? Look on the thing, the price that been right there for years, all right, is higher now. You know? I was just like, oh, it's all with it, everything going up. And I thought about it. I said, yep. All right. Because it directly affects the economy, man. Okay. Why Ukraine and Russia beef? Why is it affecting Americans? Why do America have their nose way over there in Ukraine, man? It shouldn't affect the American people, but yet and still it does. You see? It says, with the latter 2 points have certainly contributed to the problem. The root of the problem has to do with the entire structure of the global monetary system. Yeah. And the financial terrorists who have been abusing it ever since central banking became a thing. That's the truth. Nevertheless, all eyes are on the Eastern Europe right now. And truth be told, there are things happening that seem to be pushing the global economy system to the brink of collapse. There you go. The global economic system to the brink of collapse. And it's going to happen. Okay? It has to happen. Biblical prophecy says so. All right? Russia has halted all fertilizer exports as one example. Ukraine, one of Europe's breadbasket countries, has also stopped exporting grain. And inflation, which was already rising before the war, is continuing its upward trajectory. According to records, the war in Ukraine is set to put a major crimp in the ability of American farmers to import the nutrients they need just as the planting season approaches, which gonna cause a what? A drought. And once the farmers get a drought, that means the stores have a drought because the trucks can't get nothing from the farmers to transport to the stores. So that means now the truckers are on a drought. That means the truckers don't got a job. All right. So everything points to hell, man. Okay. I know I ain't really bring no precepts, so I just wanted to get some of this information out. It says soaring fertilizer prices are likely to bring spike food prices. Yeah, because the more you got to pay to prepare the food, the more you got to charge for the food. Or the grains are, the farmers. The more they ish out money, all right, to prep and, grow and sow, right, the more they have to charge for when people buy. So they could keep constantly producing. It says the owner of Blue Diamond Farming Company in Iowa. If you're upset that gas is up $1 or $2 a gallon, wait until your grocery bill is up $1,000 a month, and it might not just manifest itself in terms of price. It could be quantity as well. Empty shelf syndrome may be starting. You see? Let's go, Brandon. Rinks, who farms 16,000 acres in Iowa, further told Carlson that sanctions will have a far-reaching impact on the price of food moving forward. Already the cost to grow his crops have spiked 40% due to the cost of nitrogen being 3 times higher than last year. Phosphorus and potassium fertilizer prices have also doubled, he further explained. The planting season in the Northern Hemisphere is just weeks away. Ranks explained soberly, adding that these skyrocketing production costs cannot be changed in the near term and will likely persist for some time. And that's why your big guns, your Bill Gates, they bought all that farming, all that land and stuff, man. All right, because this is part of the plan. There's no miracle technology that can cut that in half or a third. It's a pretty fixed formula. For me to grow an acre of corn on my farm, I need 200 pounds of nitrogen, 200 pounds of phosphorus, and 100 pounds of potash. It's going to be hard how this plays out. With farmers switch to other crops that produce less, we're certainly not going to literally pour out the groceries to grow this crop. Since inflation really started to take off during the Wuhan C-19 pandemic, we were reportedly told by Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell that inflation is merely transitory and will go away soon. It turns out that was false. And of course, right? China's Joe's anti-fossil fuel policies, which are embraced by the Democratic Party as a whole, are only exacerbating the problem by making fuel costs increasingly more expensive. Yeah, what's really affecting us are the things that could have been prevented, Reich says, the ESG things, environmental, social, and governance policies. This could kind of be described as the food crisis of the Green New Deal. Biden's energy policies, Reich maintains, have made the United States more dependent on foreign energy, with energy plants that have been decommissioned from other power sources and transitioned to natural gas, and thus competing against the fertilizer input stocks. Wall Street taking an activist investor role with the strategy plant's closure. Well, yeah, that's the point, dude. You know, look at these shells, man. All right? This is what we coming to, man. We're coming to a dead end, okay? Welcome to the dead end of the world, man. All right? And the dirt that's in the land, ultimately, you see? There's great dirt. This Nehemiah 5:3-1. 2. For that word that said, we, our sons and our daughters are many. Therefore we take up corn for them, that we may eat and live. Some also, and again, there's not going to be no corn for people to get in a little while. They're not going to be able to afford it, man. All right? But that's going to be a affordable thing, a way or a system that the government issue to everybody, all right, to where they make all things affordable, all right? That's by way of that MOTB, man. If you just accept it, all right, you're going to be able to live back normal, man, and have everything plenteous, you see? It says, some also there were that said, we have mortgaged our lands, vineyards, and houses that we might buy corn because of the dearth, all right? It says, there were also that say we have borrowed money for the king's tribute, and that upon our lands and vineyards. Yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, our children as their children. And lo, we bring into bondage our sons and our daughters to be servants, and some of our daughters are brought into bondage already. Neither is it in our power to redeem them, for other men have our lands and vineyards. Because again, your houses and cars and different things that you use from day to day, you're going to have to sell that shit and get that shit up, man. All right? You're about to be at the mercy of the government, man. Soon. You see? Especially with these tensions arising, World War, the dirt, the famine, the supply chain disruption, you're about to be at the mercy of the government, Jake. You see? So that was it. I just want to read those two articles, and Albert Radazar was edifying, man. Until the next time, I'm going to say shalom.